Today we are going to show you our journey from Johor Bahru to Singapore by train. There's a couple of different options for crossing from Malaysia to Singapore, but the train is the only one that's going to avoid all traffic. We're going to share the cost and the process. Let's go to Singapore.
We are going, back.
A full-time traveling family.
Spending the next 36 hours in Singapore. This is the world's most expensive city.
We're going to show you how to have fun and not break the bank.
In the world's most expensive city, Singapore.
Good morning. Today we are headed to Singapore. We are leaving from JB Sentral, and from our place in Iskander, Puteri, it's about a 20-minute grab ride. The grab is 43 ringgit this morning for a 6-passenger vehicle. We already have train tickets booked, so we're going to show you that experience as well. And we're going to tell you what it costs, because everybody knows Singapore is one of the most expensive cities in the world, which is why we're only going for one night.
36 hours in Singapore. Going, back.
Alright, we have made it to JB Sentral. Let me go find our train. We are going to follow the signs for Woodlands.
Is it like the Egypt train?
No, it's just a 5-minute train, the first one.
Good, because it was like the Egypt trains. I'd be bored.
Alright, so we are still following the signs up the escalators for Woodlands. And another escalator. Alright, here we go. So we are catching the KTM Intercity, but we bought our tickets online yesterday. There's only a few trains still available for today, and some days they do sell out, so it's a good idea to buy in advance online.
Alright, our train is at 10 o'clock. We're only allowed in the gates at 9:30, so we're going to wander around the train station for about 10 minutes. Going, back.
We are going through gate number A. There's some people already lined up. It's 9:17. There are some massage chairs at the station, and there are also regular chairs. Alright, so I downloaded the KTM app yesterday morning, bought our tickets for this train. The earlier trains, so peak hour, were all sold out, but there was still a bunch of seats for this 10 o'clock train. Now getting here, there's no seats left for this train when we got here at about 9-10 a.m. So definitely buy at least that day in advance, and if you're wanting peak hour, you're going to want to buy it about a week in advance apparently. There are other options. You can get the bus. You can actually walk across. I don't know how long that takes. There are buses across, but they are subject to traffic. So this seems like the fastest way to get through. We'll let you know if it is. I got into line about 9:17, and there were about 50 people ahead of me, and now there's that again behind me. So, I think it's probably worth getting in line about 15 minutes early, especially if you're not holding a Singaporean or Malaysian passport or permanent residency, because I'm a little wary that our immigration process may take us a bit longer than it would if we were from Malaysia or Singapore. I'll let you know. So coming from Legoland, Iskander Puteri is the area around Legoland. We got that 20-minute grab, which is about $10 US. We are coming and getting on the train. Each way is about 25 ringgit, which is nothing, $6. That's a 5-minute train, so it's 20 minutes, 5 minutes, and then on the other end to get into Chinatown, where we're headed in Singapore, it's going to be about 45 minutes. When we get to Singapore, we're going to grab a SIM card. We're going to try and see if we can get the littler kids their free transit card at the MRT station. We're probably not going to catch taxis or grabs while we're there, which is our normal favoured way, because apparently Singapore is pretty strict about car seats. So I don't think it'll be an option for us. So it's going to be public transport, so we'll need an easy card, we'll need a SIM card, because otherwise we're going to get lost and not know where we're going. And we're going to see if we can get those free concession cards for the kids. I'll let you know how it all goes.
There's like 100 people in this line almost. almost 100.
So our passports are our tickets. We booked through the app and now we're going to scan our passports to get through. There is an employee helping people that are having trouble scanning or if they have questions or what have you. Stand behind the line. Okay, go ahead, Gigi. One thing to note is if you're hearing beeping, it means you're too close to the sensor. You need to stand back and scan your passport. So if you hear the beeps, take a step back. Alright, so crossing out of Malaysian immigration was super quick. By 9:42 we were here in the waiting room. It's now 10:02, the train was supposed to depart at 10 o'clock. I can see people exiting off the train that came over from Singapore, so we should be boarding any minute. There's not a lot of seating in here, but you're not waiting for too long, so should be alright. Okay, big step. There is a big gap. There is no assigned seating, so you just sit where you will, but it's only 5 minutes. Oh, it's cold on here. The air conditioner is blasting.
Whoa, are those yachts? Guys, they're yachts! Those are yachts! Mommy, it's a yacht like in Ya Habibi.
We're here.
Daddy made it!
Mama, I made it. I mean, if they take your luggage, they have to run fast.
Yeah, that's to go back to Malaysia. Come over here. Alright, do not get in the line that takes you back to Malaysia. Alright, so we are following signs for the bus stop and transfer to the MRT. Bus stop, transfer to MRT. Alright, so we're going to try and get to the Woodlands MRT. So we got a bunch of different buses that we can take. Alright, so it's been a bit of a whirlwind since we came through, got off the train. It was hectic getting off the train. You really gotta get off fast, otherwise you're in that immigration line for a long time. But if you get towards the front of the line, it's really pretty quick. Then we came off, there were no ATMs. So we came out of the checkpoint and I didn't see any ATMs, and we don't have any Singaporean dollars, and we don't have an easy pass because we haven't been to Singapore before. So in order to get to the MRT station, you have to catch a bus. So we needed to get on a bus, but we didn't have any Singaporean money. We didn't have a pass to get on the bus. Fortunately, the conductor was very kind and let us jump on the bus and get to the MRT station. We got to the MRT station and I thought maybe we were in the wrong place because it was all buses. So buses everywhere. And there weren't a lot of signs, there weren't any signs that I could see saying trains, but you just take the escalator or the elevator up, you get to the train station, the MRT station. So now we're going to go and find the ticket office so that we can get the concession cards for the kids and get easy passes for ourselves and maybe pick up some Singapore SIM cards so that we can actually use our phones. Let's go. Alright, so we are at the Woodlands ticketing office to to get our EasyLink cards and concession cards for the kids under 7. Turns out there is an app we could have used for that bus ride if we'd known about it ahead of time, so go ahead and download that before you make your way to Singapore. So we just picked up the child concession cards. It only works till April 30th of the year that your child turns 7. They are free, and then transportation is free. You do need to show a passport. Alright, so we went to 7-Eleven. We got these 12 Singaporean dollar StarHub travel sims. They're valid for 7 days. You get 100 gigabytes on them, and you can make phone calls on those too. So we picked up 2 of those. So that's 24 Singaporean dollars for the 2 of us. Plus we got some snacks for the kids that I'll tell you exactly how much they were in a little bit. 7-Eleven had chocolate oat milks, less than 2 Singaporean dollars each, and then we got some little granola bars and some mushroom jerky.
We had to come down to floor B1 to find the ATM, so it was a bit of a mission, but we did it.
We asked where the nearest ATM was from the MRT station. They sent us downstairs and around the corner, but there's actually an ATM a couple of steps down to the right. We needed the new Brown Line, so we actually had to exit that part of the MRT station and cross just over the road to the other section. There was a big field here where we let the kids run off some of the energy they'd built up.
This is so cool. This is the longest escalator I've been on in my life. It's the coolest. It goes underground. It looks like a secret agency tunnel. Like you go here and then you put on a suit and everything, and then there's like secret gadgets.
The Singapore public transportation system is very well organized, though you wouldn't know it from how much I struggled. Alright, we are taking this Brown Line towards Gardens by the Bay. The trains are pretty regular. It's one in 2 minutes and one in 8 minutes. Oh look, they have this indicator of how full the train is, the train load, so ours is all green. Okay, so that seat's for people who might need it, so let's go to the yellow ones.
Yeah.
Alright, so we bought the Easy card for 10 Singaporean dollars. The card itself is $5 non-refundable. And then you get 5 Singaporean dollars credit. This trip I think is costing us just over 2 Singaporean dollars. We are in Singapore and on the MRT. Brand new brown line, shiny and clean and not too crowded at this time. It is noon, so we've been at this for a little over 3 hours now. We got that grab from Johor Bahru that was 20 minutes. We waited around for about 45 minutes to get on the train passing out of Malaysian immigration. The train ran a couple of minutes late, got us to Singapore at about 10:15. We got out of Singapore immigration at about 10:40, something like that, maybe actually a little bit earlier than that. Then we had to get on a bus. Again, make sure you have some Singaporean dollars or you have yourself set up with an Easy Pass or some other payment method. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get on that bus. There's no ATM that we could see at the Woodlands Checkpoint. Maybe there's one hidden somewhere, but we couldn't see it. Alright, so then you get out of the bus. That's going to take you to the Woodlands MRT station. There we stopped to find an ATM. We went to an ATM that was way further away than we needed to be. There's a bunch of them actually right near the train station. We stopped at the ticket office and picked up the 2 concession cards for our kids that are under 7. Then we went to then we went and got cash out, because you can only get the easy cards with cash. So your easy passes for the train can only be purchased with cash. So we had to go to an ATM, get up some Singaporean dollars for that, and we had to go back up to the ticket office and grab the easy cards. So we got 3 easy cards. We also got Singaporean SIM cards, because our Malaysian SIM cards still worked at the Woodlands Checkpoint, but by the time we got to the Woodlands MRT they were not working anymore. And then we crossed over to the new MRT line and we are on the train, and all of that with some snacks and some water with some toilet breaks with 3 kids and 2 adults, and it is just after 12 o'clock and we are on our way to Chinatown to meet up with some friends, grab some lunch, do some sightseeing. So even though Singapore and Johor are right next to each other, the whole process of getting across, especially if you've never done it before, can be a little bit time consuming. Going, back. Stay tuned. On our next video, we're going to show you what we did for 36 hours in Singapore and share what we spent.